world's longest running prank show is back. Just for laughs, gags.
I'm Rachel Knapp. Watch my reports live from Washington, only on 19 News.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kevin Hodge. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News, we'll have the latest as the community reacts to the fire that took out the theater at the Boniface Arts Center. Plus, the superintendent of Lake Linden-Hubbell Schools is resigning. We have a statement from the district on the decision. And in a rare weekend vote, Trump's mega bill is advancing. Your 19 News at 6 starts now.
Live from the UP, this is WZMQ 19 News at 6.
Well, hey there, Kelly. Happy Monday to you. How's our week looking?
Yeah, happy Monday. We will have more details on the week ahead. I know it's a bit chilly right now, and you start planning your plans for Memorial Day weekend. I'll have more information on that too. We do have the sun shining in Houghton right now as people make their way out on this Monday evening here. And temperatures right now, yeah, a bit chilly. 41 degrees for Marquette, 48 towards Ironwood, 54 for Iron Mountain. Pretty comfortable there, but it will be a bit chilly overnight too. Make sure to bring in those plants. Get a little bit frosty out there, but again, you start planning for your Memorial Day weekend. I'll have more information on if we could see some warming up this week coming up in just a few minutes.
Kelly, thanks very much. In Escanaba late last Thursday, fire crews fought a blaze at the theater inside the Boniface Arts Center. Our Escanaba reporter Lily Simmons has details on the extent of the damage and what's next for the theater group that utilizes the space.
I got here about 20 minutes after crews got on scene. My heart sank. My heart sank.
In the midst of a thunderstorm, the sprinklers inside the Boniface Theater were activated as smoke filled the room. Multiple agencies quickly responded.
They got up into the balcony portion by the auditorium. They saw visible flames. They were able to extinguish it.
As parts of the ceiling began to fall and visibility diminished, firefighters retreated and ventilated the theater from outside and were able to put out the blaze.
It started the wood under this insulation on fire.
An inspector determined that a lightning strike was the cause.
Witnesses in the area also confirmed that there was a lightning strike. They thought it hit the church across the street. We did see a ground wire on the tower of the building for a lightning rod, we believe it was, that was hanging off.
The Players to Knock rent the theater from the Boniface, and the group's technical director helped firefighters navigate the scene.
It was two worlds colliding. My involvement here with Players to Knock has been since I was probably 15 years old. I'm a 22-year veteran volunteer fireman. They worked together like a well-oiled machine. They made a bad situation not as bad as it could have been.
Still, the effects are extensive, from water damage to the front of the stage to broken seats.
I would estimate Players to Knock has lost in excess of $100,000 worth of equipment, sound, every single microphone we own, almost every single speaker, 4 pianos in our orchestra pit, as well as other instruments. The damage is literally from the attic to our dressing rooms in the basement.
The group's costumes remain intact, but much of the rest of the magic that makes a player show happen was destroyed.
We've lost tools, our green room where we prepare for getting on stage, our operating booths, they'll have to be gutted and potentially rebuilt, all of our wiring infrastructure.
Thankfully, no people were harmed in the fire, which occurred less than a week after Players' youth production of Alice in Wonderland.
Had that fire happened any earlier and the devastation that those young people would have experienced, I don't even want to think about it.
The Players to Knock have a full fall season planned, so now they're looking for another venue where local theater arts can continue to thrive despite the fire.
This last season we've had over 5,000 people attend shows here at the theater, not to mention hundreds of people and volunteers that are involved. If you're interested in helping or have ideas on fundraising, we'd love you to be a part of the Players family.
Lily Simmons, WZMQ 19 News, Escanaba.
For information on how to get involved or donate to the Players to Knock, visit WZMQ19.com. The superintendent of Lake Linden-Hubbell Middle and High School is resigning from his position. On Friday, the school board accepted Superintendent Brad Codier's resignation, which is effective on June 30th. The school board has released a statement on why the superintendent is resigning, saying in part, earlier this school year, a concern was brought forth regarding Mr. Codier. While the concern was significant, it was not criminal in nature. In light of Mr. Codier's decision to resign and retire, no further investigation or review of the underlying hardline concern is warranted. The board will soon begin the process of finding the next superintendent and middle/high school principal from Lake Linden-Hubbell. WZMQ 19 reached out to the superintendent for comment on his resignation last week, but have not received a response yet. After a rare, surprising Sunday night vote, President Trump's legislative agenda is back on track for a vote on the House floor as early as this week. Trump's big, beautiful bill hit a roadblock Friday afternoon after it failed to advance through the House Budget Committee. Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Brendan Scanlon is live on Capitol Hill to tell us what changed between Friday and Sunday. Brendan, good evening.
Hey there, Kevin. Good evening to you. Well, some weekend negotiations and some minor tweaks to the legislation this weekend ultimately made a very large difference. Those hardline House conservatives who voted against the bill in the Budget Committee on Friday ultimately decided to vote present last night, which allowed the bill to advance through the Budget Committee. President Trump's big, beautiful bill clearing a major hurdle Sunday night.
The House Budget Committee took a critical step to passing the One Big Beautiful Bill Act and making President Trump's America First vision a reality for the American people.
The sweeping legislation includes trillions in tax cuts, big increases in military and national security spending, and other policy priorities largely paid for by overhauling clean energy initiatives and health and nutrition programs. That includes new work requirements for Medicaid, which is one of the ways Republicans plan to offset the cost of extending Trump's 2017 tax cuts, and other priorities like no tax on tips or overtime pay.
This bill falls profoundly short. It does not do what we say it does with respect to deficit.
But on Friday, hardline conservatives blocked the bill, demanding immediate implementation of new Medicaid work rules instead of the proposed 2029 start. Although some of their demands appear to have been met, there are signs that more work needs to be done before a vote in the House.
There's a lot more work to do. We've always acknowledged that. Towards the end, there will be more details to iron out. We have several more to take care of.
Democrats doing what they can this week to stop the bill and the new changes for Medicaid.
This legislation is the height of irresponsibility. It will hurt everyday Americans.
If passed by the House, the bill heads to the Senate, where several Republicans have emphasized the importance of protecting vulnerable Americans who rely on Medicaid.
We can make cuts that are affecting vulnerable people for which the program is for, but it's totally appropriate that we make sure we enforce work requirements so able-bodied men without dependents don't get benefits that weren't designed for them in the first place.
And Kevin, we're going to be watching for a few key things here this week as the week progresses here on Capitol Hill. The first is that time frame over when those potential Medicaid work requirements could kick in and what exactly those requirements will look like and how many people could be impacted. The other thing we're watching for is whether there is a change to the federal state cost sharing program for Medicaid. House Speaker Mike Johnson said that the bill should be ready in final form by the end of this week to meet their Memorial Day deadline to get this passed and through the House. Reporting live on Capitol Hill for WZMQ 19 News, I'm Brendan Scanlon. Kevin, back to you.
Brendan, thank you very much as always. Your first warning weather forecast is after the break. Plus, Jim Koski is here for Life in the 906. He wants to make clear which part of Michigan is up north. And later, we'll have the latest on President Biden's cancer diagnosis. We'll be right back.
How many more times do you think you can outrun death?
Everybody stay sharp.
One more time, at least. Let's blast off.
Gear up
FBI!
for the FBI's finale night.
We got this.
That is what we're looking for.
This is serious.
It's always serious on this job.
We're doing this my way.
How badass is that?
The FBI's finales, CBS Tuesday, and streaming on Paramount Plus.
Tony's Green Thumb in Bark River is open for business. Tony's is your one-stop shop for all your garden and flower needs. Known for a huge variety of big, beautiful baskets, gorgeous planters, and over 600 varieties of vegetables and flowers to choose from. Open daily, come see why people travel over 100 miles to Tony's Green Thumb. Tony's Green Thumb, where beautiful gardens begin.
I had a brain aneurysm in the year 2000 here. No one was going to hire someone that had a disability or whatever. I went through a program here at Google well over 20 years ago, and they hired me as soon as I was able to come back to work. They hired many people with disabilities and stuff and get them back into the workforce. My favorite thing I work at Marquette Goodwill is just interacting with the people. It's great atmosphere here and great people here. Goodwill treats everyone really good. It's like a second chance almost, I was going to say. It really gets you back on your feet.
Shop and donate to your local Goodwill.
Tonight's weather is brought to you by Shunk Furniture.
It's Shunk Furniture's outdoor sale. A truckload of quality Amish-made furniture just arrived, over 200 pieces to choose from. Everything from pub tables and stools to end tables in the latest colors, like the Packers, Northern, even purple, or custom order in the colors you like. Adirondack chairs come 4 ways: the regular height seat, the folding, the glider, and the high seat to make it easy to get up. You can order benches and picnic tables too in the colors you like. Shop Shunks at Marquette today.
Now, WZMQ TV 19 First Warning Weather with meteorologist Kelly Rowland.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for being here on this Monday. We are starting out with the sunshine, so it does look great. May feel a little bit chilly out there for most of us. 41 for Marquette, 44 up to Houghton, upper 40s for Ironwood, and a little bit better, 50 degrees for Menominee, 54 for Iron Mountain. So everyone is just a little bit chilly, and mainly because of this northern winds, a little bit eastern here, about 10 to 15 mile per hour winds here. So that's definitely helping to cool things down as we head through the nighttime. So a little bit of a wider view here. We are seeing some showers out to Minnesota that could creep in and just skirt by the western portions of the Upper Peninsula later tonight, but not expecting much rain, not tracking any major systems over the next 24 hours or so. We're looking good on our Doppler Max locally here. We do just have a special weather statement here into Wisconsin. That's because of the gusty winds and the lower relative humidity, so there is an increased fire risk there. So even though we don't have that into the Upper Peninsula, just keep that in mind as we have the sunshine and the winds and some dry air out there in case you were going to do any outside burning here. And the first warning weather futurecast will start to have increasing cloud cover for tomorrow morning. It'll still be a little bit chilled. There's that rain that wants to scoot across the area, but I think most of it will stay into Wisconsin, Ironwood, Iron River, Iron Mountain. You might see a few drops for tomorrow morning, but the future winds here will also stay pretty breezy. Again, about 15 miles per hour, and tomorrow we are expecting maybe some wind gusts up to 25 miles per hour. So definitely have the jacket, maybe even the windbreaker, as it's going to be pretty chilly, especially if you're going to go out fishing. Blades Bait and Tackle fishing outlook for you 7 through 9 a.m. and then 7 p.m. through 9 p.m. are the best times for you tomorrow. 58% moon illumination here. Here's the windy 15 to 20 mile per hour winds here from the northeast, but we are going to stay nice and dry. Again, maybe a few drops depending on where you are, but we're looking good for the most part. It's cold, we know that, and if we try to see when there's a warm-up happening, we still are expecting fairly average, maybe a little bit cooler than average temperatures past Memorial Day weekend and into the week ahead. That's just what it is, but if you want to think summertime, we're 32 days away from June 20th, which is the official start of summer, the summer solstice, and 13 days away from June 1st, which is meteorological summer here. So tonight's lows into the 30s. Again, it's a little bit of a chilly night. Escanaba 42, not too bad. So definitely cooler than average temperatures for tonight. And on our 7-day, we are seeing lots of sunshine, especially for midweek. Still going to have the breezy conditions there, keeping us a little bit chilled. A few evening drizzles for your Thursday, scattered showers to round off the week. You start planning Memorial Day weekend. We are expecting sunshine. That's the good news. Not seeing much rain here. So that's your good news as you start to plan Memorial Day weekend. We're up into the mid-50s.
All right, Kelly, thank you very much. And coming up next, computer scientists are concerned over the amount of power it takes to use artificial intelligence. We'll hear from one from MSU on how sustainable it is. We're back in 2 minutes.
John's Auto is quickly becoming everybody's favorite place to get their car fixed. John's Auto is quickly becoming everybody's favorite place to fix their car. Was that right? For a better service experience, come to John's Auto Market. Why do I keep forgetting that word? Experience. Okay, go. 3, 2. For a better service experience, come to John's Auto Market.
And don't forget, we're our...
Woohoo! Gambling ads are getting pretty hard to ignore. Bet now. Free bet. If you choose to gamble, make sure you play it safe. For tips that will help, go to don'tregretthebet.org. A message from the Michigan Gaming Control Board.
Our child has autism. He doesn't usually elope, but one day he did, and it was the most terrifying moment of our lives.
If I didn't have a home security system, I would have realized way too late he's gone. He could have drowned or been hit by a car.
We couldn't imagine life without our son. We cannot emphasize enough the importance of having secure doors for our family.
Don't wait. Your child's safety is everything. Call 800-895-8120.
Some places talk about being local, but we actually are local. Our family started Superior Collision 18 years ago, and we're still the ones who own and operate it today. No big company name, no outside investors. We are all Marquette, and we're going to stay that way. We are part of this community, and we are proud of the work we do. You can choose to go to a corporate body shop, or you can stay local and go to Superior Collision, Marquette's local hometown body shop.
You're watching WZMQ 19 News, live and local, with Kevin Hodge.
Welcome back, everyone. Yesterday, former President Joe Biden announced he is battling an aggressive form of prostate cancer. A source close to the Biden family informed our Washington, D.C. correspondent Rachel Knapp about the president's diagnosis early Sunday morning. Hours after we reached out for comment, the former president's office released a formal statement to the world about the president's health. The source shares that Biden family found out about the cancer diagnosis about 3 days ago.
Monday morning, former President Joe Biden shared this photo with his wife, Dr. Jill Biden, saying, "Cancer touches us all. Like so many of you, Jill and I have learned that we are strongest in the broken places. Thank you for lifting us up with love and support." This follows Sunday's announcement from the office of the former president, stating Biden reported urinary symptoms, which led doctors to find a small nodule on his prostate, and was diagnosed with an aggressive form of prostate cancer that spread to his bones. Former Vice President Kamala Harris shared on social media saying in part, "Joe is a fighter and I know he will face this challenge with the same strength, resilience, and optimism that have always defined his life and leadership." President Donald Trump, who has repeatedly commented on the 82-year-old's age and health, shared on social media, "Melania and I are saddened to hear about Joe Biden's recent medical diagnosis. We extend our warmest and best wishes to Jill and the family, and we wish Joe a fast and successful recovery."
We wish the best for the former president's health, and it sounds pretty serious, but hopefully he makes the right recovery.
Vice President J.D. Vance goes on to question whether Biden was forthcoming with the public about his health while in office. Throughout Biden's term, he faced questions and criticism about his age and health, which eventually led him to step down from seeking a second term.
And we can pray for good health, but also recognize that if you're not in good enough health to do the job, you shouldn't be doing the job.
Cancer is no stranger to the Bidens. The president's son, Beau, died from a form of brain cancer. And 2 years ago, while serving as president, Biden had skin cancer removed from his chest during a physical. During his time as president, Biden launched a cancer moonshot, mobilizing an effort to end cancer once and for all. In Washington, Rachel Knapp reporting.
Since leaving office in January, the former president has stayed relatively out of the spotlight, but his absence also comes after a reckoning within the Democratic Party and how they handled this last election, which ultimately led to them losing not only the presidency, but key seats in Congress as well. Artificial intelligence is changing the way we live and work, but it's also raising serious environmental concerns. Training large AI models requires massive amounts of computing power, often relying on data centers that consume vast quantities of electricity and water. Experts warn that without strong environmental standards, the growth of AI could outpace efforts to make it sustainable. As AI becomes more powerful, the challenge will be balancing innovation with environmental responsibility.
People are aware it's a problem, right? We can't continue, I think, to sustainably, throw out a glass of water's worth of energy every time we want to ask a question of a bot. It's not sustainable.
We'll have more from computer scientists coming up tonight at 11:10 Central. Sunday marked 350 years since the death of Father Jacques Marquette. This morning, the Boomier UP Heritage Center at Northern Michigan University hosted a commemoration to honor his legacy. It focused on Father Marquette's history from different perspectives with films and presentations given throughout the day. These came from numerous Indigenous speakers, NMU professors, and Catholic historians. Coordinator Dan Truckee says it's crucial for history to be remembered at all angles.
History isn't black and white. It isn't all positive, it isn't always heroic, and it isn't all negative either. And we wanted to present different perspectives about looking at not only Father Marquette, but the Jesuits in general in the region, and the legacy that they've left behind here.
Today, his statue, along with the honorary county and city name, stands as a symbol of his exploration in the area. Jim Koski has your Life in the 906 when we come back, and more research is being done on the reliability of auto braking in cars. We'll have all the details when we come back.
Shop Kirkish Furniture, Smith Brothers Amish Furniture, 40% off sale. Find heirloom quality craftsmanship and save 40% off all in-stock or special order upholstery, plus 12-month interest-free financing and free local delivery. Sale runs May 14th through the 24th in Houghton.
This man right here, this cocky, crazy-eyed boy. Me? Your crazy eyes. I mean, look at your freaking eyes, Matt. They're like la 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 la. He said I'm so liked around the house. What? Oh yeah, I'm a people pleaser, and I'm that to a fault. I really just want to have fun with you guys, except for you. Don't talk to me. See what everyone will be whispering about this summer when Big Brother returns July 10th on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus.
Closed captioning sponsored by Range Bank of Upper Michigan.
Summer's here, and with a new Toyota, you can go here, surf's up, here, woo, and here.
Now get a powerful new 25 Tundra with low 2.99 APR financing, or lease this well-equipped Tacoma double cab for just $289 a month.
Your summer starts here and just keeps on going.
Toyota, let's go places.
Houghton's the spot where we get all 4 seasons, the snow, the shine, everything in between. So the shoes are everything. You know, what you have is gonna help you perform better, perform longer, stay injury-free longer. Whether you're a runner, walker, or you're just looking for a shoe to get yourself through the day, we'll take an extensive approach to finding the shoe that's right for you. Whatever surface that you're gonna be on, we've got you covered.
She's fair.
The only thing that matters in this particular courtroom, sir, is how I see it.
Watch Equal Justice with Judge Ebony K. Williams.
Weekdays on WZMQ CBS.
Well, hello there, Jim Koski. First of all, I'm sorry I mispronounced Boomier. I am very apologetic. I also understand you want to define a certain term for us today.
Yeah, at least you didn't mispronounce Marquette, so that's the good thing. Okay, so Kevin, I'm heading downstate in a few days to visit my favorite father-in-law, and I've already packed the 3 most important things you need when visiting the Lower Peninsula. Those 3: bridge fare, no doze for the Sini Stretch, and a list of answers to the questions people down there are always asking about us, like, do you have electricity? Or how do you get around in somewhere if there's no snow for your sled dogs? Another one of those topics that you can discuss with trolls is the concept of up north. Now, that phrase is one of those iconic Michigan sayings used by residents in Grand Rapids or Lansing or Detroit to describe their favorite summer getaway. Yet for many of those people, up north means Gaylord or Traverse City, or if they're feeling extra adventurous, Mackinac City. But if that's up north, what does it say about the 1/3 of the state's landmass that sits above Mackinac City? You know, Michigan's actual up north? Now, I realize trolls can be woefully ignorant of this, which isn't too surprising considering that we were basically the booby prize in a bar fight over the port of Toledo. But you know the cars that made Michigan famous? Built with iron from the UP. The Highway Center Line, invented in the UP. And can you imagine what the Michigan State basketball team would be like without the UP? I shudder to think. Sadly, I'm not surprised by the way the rest of Michigan thinks of us. After all, 97% of the state lives below the bridge, and too few of them ever come up here and see just how magical of a place this is. And that's their loss, because by visiting, they might realize a few things. We do have electricity. To travel during the summer, we use moose, not sled dogs. And once they get to what they consider up north, they're really only about halfway there. I'm Jim Koski, and that's another slice of life in the 906.
Jim, thank you very much. And don't forget to join Jim weekday afternoons on Q107 WMQT. The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety put the pedal to the metal, increasing the test speeds for auto braking technology. And experts found many vehicles were up for the challenge. Nicole Valdez takes a look.
You may have felt that wash of dread and relief when you suddenly brake just in time to avoid an accident. The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety tested the automatic emergency braking technology, or AEB, in dozens of new vehicles, now at speeds of up to 43 miles per hour. Researchers looked at how well the systems alert the driver and then brake automatically when approaching a car or a motorcycle. The test also examines the technology's ability to detect a semi-truck so the driver could move to avoid it.
The reason we added a motorcycle and a tractor trailer is obviously those impacts are more severe, can lead to fatalities. David
Ayler from the IIHS says 22 of the latest 30 vehicles tested earned a good or acceptable rating, including the BMW X5, the Subaru Forester, and the Toyota Camry. Of the 10 cars evaluated last year, only 3 got those ratings.
We're starting to see a lot of improvement just in over a year of our testing.
But the bar is moving even higher with the rule that by September of 2029, all new cars and trucks are equipped with automatic emergency braking that can prevent a collision at up to 62 miles per hour. The new federal standard could be difficult to reach since some vehicles are still struggling at lower speeds, but Ayler is optimistic.
We think it's possible, and we are hopeful that AEB systems will improve.
IIHS also plans to expand its evaluation, putting more vehicles to the test in the future.
Now don't go away. Kelly Rowland has your final look at weather when we come back.
When migraine strikes, do you question the trade-offs of treating? Ubrelvy is another option. It works fast, and most have migraine pain relief within 2 hours. You can treat it anytime, anywhere. Tell your doctor all medicines you take. Don't take if allergic or with strong CYP3A4 inhibitors. Get help right away for allergic reactions like trouble breathing, face, mouth, tongue, or throat swelling, which may occur hours to days after. Side effects include nausea and sleepiness. Migraine pain relief starts with you. Learn how AbbVie could help you save on Ubrelvy.
Welcome to Big Boy, where we know you by name. From our mouth-watering burgers to our affordable breakfast and dinner buffets, we've got you covered morning, noon, and night. Enjoy Big Boy's fantastic meals at home with our best to-go curbside pickup. And for office parties or events, Big Boy is the area's go-to for the best catering service. So when you want clean, affordable, convenient, and delicious, you know the answer is Big Boy, where we know you by name.
Car insurance for seniors can be very expensive.
But don't assume that just because you're over 65 that you've got to pay outrageously high rates.
Are you paying too much for your auto insurance? If so, you're just throwing your money away.
Well, now is the time to check on your auto insurance rates.
You may be able to save a lot of money.
So call the number on your screen right now and find out how much you can save.
1-800-799-6506.
What happens when reporters take you inside the story?
I've been asking for over a year and a half for access into this place, and this is the first time we're getting it.
You get the all-new CBS Evening News every weeknight.
Who'll be there when amazing rises up or need for a warning comes falling down? Will you? Start a career in the broadcasting industry. Be there. Go to BeThereMichigan.com.
Welcome back. Final check of your forecast here as we look at the 19 News Skycam downtown Marquette view here. The sun is shining. People are making their way through the evening. We just have some clouds to deal with, so we're not tracking any rain for tonight. And we will have a little bit chilly of conditions, fairly average. The average low is 41 degrees, so we'll definitely see a little bit cooler than that. But you start planning your Memorial Day weekend. We have a few scattered showers to deal with before the sunshine comes out just in time for your weekend travels.
Kelly, thanks again. And finally tonight, over the weekend, the annual Big Bay Relay ran for another year. On Saturday, 44 teams raced from Marquette to Big Bay to raise money for the Powell Township Trail System. 7 junior teams and 37 regular teams ran about 25 miles, passing the baton with each mile ending at Perkins Park Campgrounds in Big Bay. Afterward, the runners enjoyed a celebration with friends, family, snacks, and music.
Again, it's about having fun, coming together, supporting each other, and not always having to be extremely serious in order to just come out and participate.
Planning for next year's race starts in June. That's all for now. We'll see you all later tonight.